Hello, all. How are you doing? First of all, good afternoon. And here I am today with the recap of the day of Tata Steel Masters 2023. So, Tata Steel Masters is a very, very top tournament, which is also known as the Wimbledon of chess. And yesterday was the first round. I have made this by going to Chessbase 17 and going to Tata Steel Masters Tata Steel Masters 2023, the Masters Edition. So I'm going to comment on the games and what I saw from the game and things that I learned from that, and I would like to share it with you guys. And I plan to do it as a there are 13 rounds in this tournament in total. It's a double round robin tournament wherein one player, sorry, it's not a double round robin, it's a round robin tournament, and there are total of 14 participants. So, and there are 13 rounds. So it is a round robin, a single round robin tournament. And the pairings for that, I will share the link of the pairings and you can find all the details in the description of the video. And let's get started. So the first big game of the tournament was already in the first round between multiple time winners Magnus Carlsen and Levon Aronian. Magnus Carlsen has won the tournament 8 times out of his 16 appearances, which is he's won one tournament every 2 years, and Aronian has won the tournament 4 times. Aronian has not played in the COVID years in 2020 and 2021, but as well as in 2019, he did not play. The last time he won the tournament was in 2014. So let's get started with the game. The time control is 100 minutes for 40 moves plus 50 minutes for the rest of the game plus 30 minutes with 30-second increment for from the first move. So Carlsen opens with the Catalan opening, which he mastered in the run up to the World Championship match of 2021, and he plays this system, which is getting very popular: Queen C2, A6, A4, Bishop D7, Queen C4, which is this is all standard theory, and Bishop E4, Queen C1, H6, Knight Rook D1, A5 in order to prevent white from expanding on the queen side, knight bd2, bishop h7 in order to keep control of these squares on the h7 b1 diagonal, knight b3, knight d7. So this is the first critical moment of the game. If you see, Aronian spent around 9 minutes on this move. The most natural move in this position is to play c6. Probably I can put this on training mode so that it's better to, I mean, you won't know the next moves that they played. Otherwise, it kind of spoils the fun a little bit. So there is C6, which is quite popular here and quite interesting. Okay, obviously 97 was the main move, but yeah. So 1 minute, I'll have to, in order to make it more proper, I will have to. C6 is a natural move, and in his post-game interview, Aronian was mentioning he was thinking of knight c5 and rook a7, and also I think knight c5, knight d7 is extremely interesting here because knight b7, knight c5. Okay, maybe I should just go here because this is not so. Knight d7, knight d7 and queen d7. Black is absolutely fine. So I think the critical attempt here is knight b7, and then black was queen b6, attacking the knight. And if knight d6, well, then knight d6. Well, this may not be that stupid actually. And although it looks like black has enormous compensation with the two bishops and like the two bishops and the b2 pawn is backward, it seems that a pawn is still a pawn. So this may still be okay for white, but I'm still a little bit wondering because rook b8, knight c4, queen b4, e3, and then c5 or even knight b6 first to put more pressure, knight fd2, c5, and there is good compensation in this position in my view. So I believe that knight d7 was quite interesting, which maybe or knight c5, he was even saying queen c7 in his post-game interview, Aronian. And he said that he was thinking of something like this, but he thought he would much rather prefer the knight not to come to c5 in all. So that's why he played knight d7, knight e5, uh, activating the bishop and putting pressure on the b7 pawn, c6, queen c3, attacking the a5 pawn, rook a7, protecting this, and this was actually okay. Knight b6 has been played against Giri by Pepe Cuenca of Chess24 fame, and this match, by the way, is more famous not because of this game, but because Giri defeated Pepe Cuenca by a score of 7-0 in this match. Okay, Aronian played rook a7, 95, which is an extremely good move, and probably I should have given you this as a puzzle. But if black takes, then knight d7, and if queen a5, sorry, if queen a5, then takes in knight d7, and it's very good for white because he's a pawn, and black structure is ruined. White can get in b4, b5, and this bishop on h7 is also kind of out of play at the moment. So bishop e5, d5, rook a5, and here you can think about how white should proceed. Something to think about for sure. And you can pause the video for some moments and think what white should do. So kudos to you if you found rook into d7 here, which with the idea that rook into d7 with the idea that queen into d7, there is queen a5. And actually, it seems this is not very effective. So rook into d7 idea, if queen into d7, then queen into a5. And it seems my video may be hanging a little bit, but it's okay. I think the chess content is more important. So rook into d7, rook into a4. And Carlsen realized that after rook into d8, there is rook a1 check and rook d1 coming up. And it can only be black who's better here. So Carlsen proceeded with rook into a4, queen d7, rook d4, queen c7, rook d6. After the game, Aronian admitted that he was a bit worried and he felt that this position was very unpleasant for him with this rook d6, and he underestimated this whole idea and the whole concept. So bishop g6, just in order to move it h4 with h5 and just safeguarding the king, improving the bishop just a little bit more. And after this, h4, h5, king g2, queen b6, rook d7 in order to make the rook more active and just attack some more squares. And rook a2 looks interesting here, but probably there is b4 in this position in order to gain more space. And this looks very much pleasant for white. So black played king h7, queen d2. Just a moment. Also, there is this move rook d8 here. And because this is kind of natural because black wants to trade more pieces in this position. I actually wonder why Arun didn't play this, but probably he was just thinking rook d6 and his whole plan, like he went from rook a8 to rook d8, and it's not, but okay, maybe Arun can still repeat with rook a8. So I really wonder what Arunian, yeah, probably, yeah, this is good. This is really nice. So white to play in this position. And this I can see is some kind of tactic serving strategy. And white has a very good move in this position, which doesn't win the position itself, but poses more and more practical problems and improves white position from what it is right now. So the right move, in my opinion, is queen e3, because if takes, then rook d8, and white wins the rook. If black plays c5, white takes, and we are a pawn up to the good with b7 also hanging. So queen a5 is the move here. And after this, white can just take on b7 and enjoy a good position. Or else, obviously, this is good, rook into b7. But, sorry, rook into b7 is good because, but black still, okay, I think this is not much because this attack doesn't really seem that threatening for black. But even if white's, okay, I think firstly rook into b7 should be good, but b4 is another additional option. And after queen a8 to play queen d4 and just claim a much better position. But obviously, I think rook into b7 has to be the move. After rook d1, okay, it's true, I'm not really believing in black's attack, but I have to prove it with concrete moves. Why, in my view, this does not work. So give me a moment, and I think I would encourage you to think along with me. And yes, so I'm thinking here. So first of all, I feel that the back rank of black is extremely weak. However, the bishop on g6 is a monster which is holding everything together, and there doesn't seem any concrete way wherein white can get the two pieces on the eighth rank. So I'm just thinking here, and I'm thinking live while I'm recording this video, in order to be as real as possible. And yeah, so queen e1 also, there is an option of playing queen. There's an idea of playing queen a1. Okay, actually I'm not totally sure. Maybe we can use the engine and see how. Okay, probably that's the convenient option, but that's something I would not like to do, to show you how the engine thinks about the position, because that would be kind of dampening the whole idea. Something I can come up with right now is, okay, probably that's not convincing, but my idea was bishop into h5, bishop into h5, queen g5. But then there is bishop into e2. Also, there's queen d5 check, and the white king is in tatters. So there should be something stronger here, I believe. But actually, I'm not sure anymore. Okay, I think I'll just go with the safe option, which is to play queen c3, preventing queen e1, queen a1, and now just play king h2 and just claim some advantage. And I'm pretty sure there is some advantage here. Although practically, I think after rook f1, there looks to be very good counterplay. But I believe that queen c3, queen a1. Okay, now I think we can check the engine. But actually, I'm not sure anymore if there is any advantage here. So, yeah, let's see. It's not fritz 11, it's actually stockfish 15. And yeah, b4 is the move. I thought about this, but after queen a1, I couldn't really. Yeah, bishop e4. And yeah, king f3, king f4. And this is the whole point. Rook h1 and probably king f. No, rook h1, there is bishop into g6 also. So yeah, after bishop e4, it's just crushing. So, but queen e3. So the main move is queen a5. And yeah, so Aronian played king h7. And he actually, now his idea may be to play rook d8, because now after queen e3 can take on e3. And after that, uh, yeah, he can just take on e3 and take on d7. So queen d2, now preventing rook d8. Black played rook a5. Idea attacking the e5 pawn. b4, rook into e5, queen d6. And now white is setting rook d8 and queen f8. And this is an important moment of the game. Black here played queen b5, queen f8, and rook into e2. After bishop into e2, there is queen e2, and there is a lot of dangers in this position here. So because of this, Carlsen went for the draw, rook d8, bishop e4, and now actually it's see, there is this whole phenomenon or whole idea that Carlsen kind of, I mean, not idea, but this thing that here Carlsen is chickened out with the draw. But the fact is that sometimes you need to, actually a lot of time, most of the times, you need to be objective. If the position is a draw, it's a draw. You have to go for the draw. And that's why, like, I mean, queen e8, king h7, and you have to go for the draw. It's not like Carlsen can't really feel that, I mean, I'm playing white against Aronian. I want to win the tournament. So if he thinks about this from the very first round, then very often this backfires. So I think this was a good, clever decision by Magnus. And I'll just save this game, the annotations that we just made. Then the second game between Caruana and Giri. So I've noticed in this rivalry between Caruana and Giri, in the very which this, by the way, was another heavyweight clash between Caruana and Giri. And Caruana, a lot of times in white, has played some offbeat openings against Anish. The last time I remember he played an offbeat opening was he played b3 on the second move, which was held last year's championship, I believe. and Anish went on to win a crazy game. So here they played this line. B3 is much more popular here, but Caruana went for knight c3, dc4, and this actually, if you play d4 here, then it is a good Vienna for black. For example, if instead of this, you play like we play like this, and black plays dc4, e3, a6, bishop c4, b5, and you get this position, and it's exact same position, and this is considered to be good for black. So that's why Caruana went for castles, b5, and out of the opening, Anish didn't really have any problems. And this is, yeah, I mean, okay, probably knight d to knight c4 and d3 or d4. So c5, d3, bishop e7, knight d2, castles, knight c4, knight c6, and queen c2. Idea to play rook d1 and maybe somewhere also b3, bb2. So a5. Also, yeah, this is a very strong move by Anish, just preventing this a4, a5 from white, gaining more space. And after e4, queen c7, just controlling more and more squares in the center. Uh, Knight d7, again controlling more squares, and bishop a6. Here, I remember I was seeing the game and the engine was suggesting f5. And the point is, this is a very good illustration of something which is very important and which is finding the critical moments. Here, if you see, all of black's pieces are ready in this position. The knight, the bishops are well placed, knights are well placed, the queen is excellently placed, and he can play f5 here, trying to activate his last piece, play bishop f6 next. And also, white's pieces lack coordination. So f5 was probably a critical moment here, but Anish played bishop a6, knight d2. I still believe f5 was very interesting because although now it's less effective and probably Anish would be a bit concerned about queen b3 here, attacking e6. So rook c8, rook c1, queen b6, knight b3. I did to regroup the pieces probably with knight d to knight c4, although this at the moment looks a bit slow because of knight d4 from black. But I think Caruana already didn't feel too comfortable with this position, and Anish strikes with knight d4. Comes the hour, comes the man, and knight c5, knight fd4, knight a4, queen a2, knight b2, queen b2, bishop f6. Yes, a4 was also possible, and I think Anish clearly has the initiative. I think pretty much throughout the game, Caruana didn't have much chances, and they just drew here after queen b4. Probably the reason they drew was bishop into d3 and is just equal. Sorry, I should probably put end of game here. And then, yeah, end of game. And bishop into d3, queen c3, and this just draws. Queen b4, bishop d3. I'm just, yeah, there's just nothing here. So they drew the game. So two draws in the book. And now third game between Gukesh and Deng. This was an amazing game. This was absolutely amazing. So first of all, about Deng. He is obviously playing the World Championship match to be held in May this year, and he played the Queen's Indian, which he's played a lot in online tournaments, and recently started to play this. My prediction for him is we might just see Ding going for quite some e4 now. After qualifying to the World Championship match by finishing second, he actually played a lot of e4 and a lot of Queen's Indian. And he's again playing Queen's Indian in this tournament. So I feel he will mix it up and he might just play 2 to 3 games with one e4 also. Also to surprise Nepo, or he can keep e4 in reserve for the World Championship match. So it's very interesting how Ding approaches this tournament. But the World Championship match is the Tata Steel is a very important tournament. So it's difficult to say how he'll approach, but we might just see maybe if not 3-4, we might see 1-1 e4 if he seriously thinks of playing that in the World Championship match. Or he can stick to playing 1d4 as he's played all throughout his life, and he can sit upon the ideas of 1e4 for the match. So yeah, this is the main line of the of the Queen's Indian defense. And CD5, ED5, 91, Rook E8. See, this is the thing with these top players. They play all of the principal moves. Rook E8, getting the rook towards the center. Knight D3, Knight F8, getting the knight towards the center, aiming to play Bishop D6 next also. Bishop D5, Knight D6. I'm pretty sure. Yes, he plays it. And E3. And this was the first critical moment of the game. Now, if you see in, or maybe probably I can, I don't know how, maybe table, no, not table, planning, no, not planning, no, not this, not this, not this. I have to hide the squish. I have to hide this somehow. So maybe view, I have to go and view, and I have to hide notate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the thing. Now it is better. Now, here in this position, Ting went for a move which was appreciated a lot. So the move here is knight c5 here. Idea to attack on d3. Also, if knight c5, then b cross c5. Maybe this can notation. I don't want to have notation on, but probably I can have it like this. I can have the notation, but I can have it like this so that nobody can see the notation really. And even I can't like, so it's not like. Okay, so knight c5, and also I feel that Gukesh's play till now has been a little bit slow, so Ding tries to take advantage of it. T cross c5, bishop c3, rook c1, bishop f, queen f6. Again, using another piece into the game and aiming to play d4, queen c2, d4, cb6, ab6, rook d1, rook d8. See, they're using all of these pieces and using a lot of energy in the game. Knight f4, g5. And this is the difference between how Ding approaches the scheme and the way Giri approaches. Okay, it's just the first round, so it's difficult to make conclusions, but he has all his pieces into the attack, into the game. He goes for it. Knight h5, queen g6. I think queen g6 is also good actually, because it's kind of gaining a tempo here. Mysterious why Ding didn't go for it, but queen h6 is also very good. So, but I think I would actually go for queen g6 since I was in this position. Queen h6, c5, and g4, f5. Again, the feeling of initiative of Ding is pretty much unmatched in this game, quite clearly. Gf5, and he probably wanted to go g4, bishop g4, and queen g5, and rook e2, bishop e2. Everything is coming, and the white position will fall apart soon. And okay, after this was just realization of the game, a3, h4. And again, he's not slipping the initiative, he's not letting the initiative slip. And everything he's playing is just amazing. It's just, he knows the initiative, the feeling of initiative, which has been shown by Ding in this game is immaculate. And that's why it's not me who's written this commentary, by the way. It's the chess base annotators. And even they said, superb game by Ding. And if I show you how I got this, I went to, for example, if you go here, you go to live in chapter 17, you get all of this, the recent games. And so from there, I got this game and I got all of these games, which I'm showing to you. Now, the fourth game between Van Foreest and Wesley Song. Now, Van Foreest went with d4. It's a bit surprising. I mean, it's not totally surprising, but a lot of times Van Foreest went for e4 in the white tournaments, even the one he won in 2021. But it's clear he's trying to expand his repertoire. And I think it's very clear that Wesley was surprised with the first move itself, as he spent 1 minute on knight f6, but he stuck to his main repertoire. And I think the Catalan was another big surprise, as he spent 2 minutes on bishop b7. And this line, knight c3, knight e5, there is many ways to combat it. There is knight c6 here also, which is considered very critical. There is c5, wherein white all or very often gets a very slight edge, but it's not enough for more than a draw. It's not enough to count for a victory. So they went for this, and bishop d2, knight c6, rook c1. Again, these players they just follow the basics and the fundamentals really, really well. B6, and now finally, uh, Van Foreest started to think. Before this, he was not thinking as much. And knight B1 looks a bit superficial, but it's fine. It's not. And here there is a very, very big mistake by Van Foreest, which is bishop E1. And I would recommend you to pause the video and try to find the next movement by the next move by Wesley. So Van Foreest also said during his post-match press conference, which I would probably send the link in the description, and also the link of the Tata Steel YouTube channel, because there you can see all the video interviews of the players. So Bishop E1, Van Foreest said that as soon as he played Bishop E1, as soon as he touched the bishop, or as soon as he played it to E1, he found out why this is a mistake, and he was then lucky to escape. And he completely missed Black's next move, which, if you pause the video and I wish you found it, it's knight F4. Attacking the bishop, attacking the rook, and all of the pieces are on the first rank, which helps Black, which helps Black. And after this, there were some chances um for Wesley, but there weren't much. And eventually it ended in a draw. And it was a game well played by Wesley, but as Juden himself said in the interview, it could have been better. And he could have posed more problems for Juden than he did. Now we go to the fifth round and the second decisive result of the tournament and of the first round. So it is Richard Rapport versus Abdusattorov Nondiribek. And they play the Vienna. Here, obviously, Rapport is known for his crazy openings. Here, ED5, EF, E4. Yeah, I remember this game. E4, D3, Bishop B4, Bishop D2, and E3 is the famous classical game. And he played FE5 and E4, Queen F3, and the important move F5. And after this, Black is known to be absolutely fine by the manuals of chess. And see, again, these people are developing their pieces. They are, especially Rapport in this game. He's just playing extremely principally. And B6 just making the center solid. Just good positional play. Knight F4, G5. And the thing with these youngsters is they're very fearless. Rook B5, Bishop D5, there was also Rook D5, this idea, CD5, Queen D5. And Black is doing extremely well in this position. And so Rook B5, Knight B8, Rook D5, C6, just to consolidate and to exchange rooks. And H6, just good positional play, protecting the pawn, and just posing some practical problems. And see, as soon as he played H6, Rapport goes for G4, which is a mistake because after these exchanges, Black is cleanly doing very, very well, and E6 is weak. And yeah, so I think a very, very well controlled game by Nondiribek, and there were some drawing chances in the end game, but it's clear that the constant pressure that was put by Rapport in this game helped considerably. Sorry, put by Nondiribek on Rapport helped Abdusattorov considerably. I don't know if I should refer to him as Abdusattorov or Nondiribek, but yeah. Now the sixth game of the round is between Praggnanandh and Irigaisi Arjun. Irigaisi is known for his opening preparation, whereas Praggnanandh is known for his trickery as well as good opening preparation. But they played the Grunfeld, and I believe that Irigaisi has specifically prepared the Grunfeld for this tournament. Grunfeld is not an opening you can play just for a one-off game. I believe he's conscientiously tried to prepare this very, very deeply with his team of seconds. So Bishop B3, obviously Bishop G4 is the famous line which was investigated in a lot of Kasparov-Karpov matches. So B6 is the trend, and DC5, Queen C7 is also very popular. So rook c1, e6, f3 to solidify the center. This is actually this bishop c4 is the mainline variation of the Grunfeld. It's called the mainline variation. And h4 to play h5 and to soften up the king side. Knight a5, bishop d3, cd4, cd4, queen h4, bishop g5, queen h5, e5 to block the bishop here, f6. And it seems that in this round, especially, Arjun was immaculately prepared. He played all of this quite quickly in general. And obviously, he started to think after a while, but for the most part, when he started to think, it was quite equal, and he had some minute chances, but for the most part, it was equal. And see now h5, he knows all his pieces are well placed. He plays h5 to soften up the white king side. These players are really fearless, and that's one of the main reasons which makes them so strong. And so this game and even fight not without its subtleties, as the chess base annotators say. Now, this is a very good game of the round, I believe. Maghsoodloo versus Keymer, which didn't attract as many eyeballs because this ended in a draw. But what a fight it was. So I've seen a lot of players beat knight f3 with d5. And in this round itself, for example, Anish against Fabiano, and now Keymer against Maghsoodloo. And so he plays a reversed Benoni. And here h6, which is pretty interesting because normally they play bishop d6 and the line goes like this: h6, bishop f6, queen f6. And there is a rich stream of theory after a3, a5, and d2. But also there is bishop b7 here, there is knight d7 here. But Vincent goes for h6, preventing bishop g5 in the bud. But here bishop f4 is very interesting. And I think this will need further testing in tournament play. So rook e1, bishop d6, now preventing bishop f4. And a5 again gaining space. a3, e5. Again a4. Rook e8. Bishop c7. Bishop g4 attacking the queen. Bishop f3 takes. Rook a5. And now it was clearly better for black. And here in this post-match press conference, Maghsoodloo said that he thought rook c6 is the best move, and black has all the trumps in his position. So rook c3 he was very happy with to see rook c3 as white, as black. And after bishop d2, he thought there's no way he's going to play rook c6 black, because then there was no point of playing rook c3 at first place, because you just develop the bishop on bishop from c1. So bishop d2, e4, queen d1, and the engines were suggesting something like rook d3, knight c5, but this was clearly not convincing enough, especially from the position which black had. And after this, Vincent admitted to have missed this move rook b3, and now he had to be careful to make a draw. And now they agreed for a draw, because after bishop c5, it's going to end quite peacefully. So these were the games of the tournament of the first round, and I would also recommend you, if you want, you can follow it on you can follow the games on other websites. So now coming back to today, so today's clashes, I'll just brief you about that. Today there is the game between Magnus Carlsen versus Vincent Keymer. Vincent is, I believe, he's white today because he was black yesterday, and Carlsen was white today, so he should be black. And I believe this will be an interesting rematch from the World Rapid Championship 2022. And I believe it will end in a draw. And yeah, let's see how the things go. And I believe that the Vincent Magnus scheme is something to look out for. So take care, everybody. Hope to see you again next time with the recap of round two. And have a good day. Thank you. Bye. Bye.